Stop whining and ducking. Be a man. In the contract or vacate the belt. I need undisputed. And not to play your
Tyson Fury that wants to run it back with Usyk. He thinks in his mind he won those first two fights. You know, I don't, but they were close fights. And, you know, every fighter wants to try and avenge a defeat. I don't think anyone's really interested in...
He's injured and he's spending time with his family. And, you know, there are videos of him dancing, but he...
Oleksandr Usyk's recent moves have left the boxing world in a storm of frustration, confusion, and suspicion. The Ukrainian maestro, who has already etched his name in history as a two-weight undisputed champion, stunned fans when he pulled out of his anticipated fight with Joseph Parker, citing injury.
They all want to fight you, Oleksandr. Who next?
Oh, maybe it's Tyson Fury.
On the surface, that sounded like a legitimate reason. Yet when Usyk was later spotted dancing effortlessly, questions erupted. If he was fit enough to move with balance and energy, was he really too injured to fight? And now, instead of locking horns with the surging Parker...
Ironed out by Dubois properly, and Usyk just ironed out Dubois. So it's quite pointless. The only man who's been able to beat this fucker is myself. And... been ripped off. So I'm not sure what's going on, but you know what it is. GK all day, every day. Fucking still the top dog. Still the top G. Beat him twice and I'll do it again.
Usyk is shouting for a trilogy with Tyson Fury. This sudden pivot has fueled accusations of selective matchmaking. The narrative isn't neat anymore. It's messy, political, and riddled with doubt. Usyk has already outclassed Fury once, proving his skill and adaptability under fire. To many, the trilogy seems unnecessary when...
Negotiations, then the injury, that we wasted months on that, and that's given a little bit of inactivity.
Hungry contenders like Parker are left waiting in the wings. Tyson Fury, never short of arrogance, responded to Usyk's call-out with his trademark dismissive smirk, a handful of sharp words, and a self-confidence that borders on delusion. He still sees himself as untouchable.
He's going to fight again this year. We got to get the decision right, because this is the last throw of the dice, really. And whatever way it comes for Parker, he deserves it all, because he's been in there and beaten everyone in front of him.
Even after being outboxed by the smaller man. But analysts aren't fooled. They know Fury struggled against Usyk's movement and sharp counterpunching. A third fight may expose him even more brutally. And into this storm stepped Frank Warren, never shy of adding fuel to the fire. His take cut deep. If Usyk was fit enough to be dancing in public, was he truly too injured to...
And it was Daniel Dubois that put himself out of line for it. So why would Daniel Dubois be awarded a direct crack of Usyk when he pulled out the fight? So the right person to get the crack should be Joseph Parker. Why not? He was the one that turned up to fight, he fought.
Face Joseph Parker. Warren's words tapped directly into the frustration boiling across boxing circles. Parker was ready. He had earned his opportunity through grit, persistence, and consistency. Instead, he was left on the outside looking in, watching the politics of the sport rob him of his rightful chance. Promoter Eddie Hearn has long championed fairness in matchmaking, and his words carried real weight here. Hearn minced no words. Parker has earned the right to fight for the undisputed title. He hasn't been handed anything. Time after time, Parker has stepped into difficult fights, taken risks, and walked away victorious. This isn't about favors or backroom politics. It's about respecting a fight.
I spoke to your man Joe Parker and he said, I will beat Oleksandr Usyk. What gives you the confidence that will happen as well, Andy?
Joe is the last challenge left. He can offer something that nobody else can. Craft, cleverness, doesn't take breaks, can fight the pace. It's a great challenge.
Fighter who has done everything required the hard way. Hearn's message was clear. Usyk cannot keep avoiding Parker forever. Sooner or later, the WBO interim champion must get his shot. Former cruiserweight champion Johnny Nelson went even further, calling out Usyk's team directly. For Nelson, the logic is crystal clear. Daniel Dubois doesn't deserve another crack after surrendering under pressure, while Parker has consistently shown up, taken on challenges, and proved himself. Nelson didn't sugarcoat it. Usyk can make excuses, cite recovery, or talk about other fights, but sooner or later, Parker must be given his chance. Anything else damages Usyk's reputation as a fighting champion. Few voices carry as much weight in this debate as Andy Lee, Parker's trainer, and a man who knows his fighter's resurgence.
If I'm being totally honest, do I think he'll win? No. I think he'll lose again. And this time, I think he'll lose really, really clearly, because Usyk this time will go on the back foot. And that is the worst nightmare for for Tyson Fury, because that's one that he can't control. You've got to understand, Cougs, he pressed the whole fight. He walked the 6'9", 20-stone man down. He walked him down and bullied.
Inside out, Lee didn't hold back. In his view, Usyk's excuses about injury aren't medical realities. They're tactical maneuvers, the delays, the injury claims, the shifting priorities. All of it, Lee argues, is designed to swerve a fighter in red-hot form. Lee has watched Parker reinvent himself, sharpen his combinations, and fight with a renewed confidence. For him, Usyk is dodging Parker because deep down, he knows the Kiwi heavyweight is dangerous right now. And Lee asks the simplest but hardest question of all: if Usyk truly believes he is the best in the world, why avoid Parker? While the Parker debate rages, Tony Bellew turned his attention toward the Fury-Usyk dynamic. Bellew has long been an admirer of Usyk's style, and his latest...
But this was a traditional folk song, I think, from Ukraine, and
right.
he was doing that footsie hootsie.
Didn't look like he had any mobility issues.
No, not any, and he had that amazing balance. And obviously, it raised the question and begged the question from Joseph Parker's people, because that WBO belt is in question with Joseph Parker, who's the interim champion.
Prediction was brutal for Fury fans. Bellew pointed out that in their first fight, Usyk didn't just survive Fury's size, he bullied him, walking the bigger man down. For the rematch, Bellew believes it will be even more one-sided. He envisions Usyk dictating the pace, making Fury chase shadows, and exposing the Gypsy King's lack of adaptability. For Bellew, this isn't just about Usyk winning, it's about Usyk dominating Fury so convincingly that no one can ever question who the pound-for-pound king truly is. Respected journalist Gareth A. Davies highlighted the controversy that ignited everything: the video of Usyk dancing while supposedly injured. To Parker's camp, it was a slap in the face. If Usyk can balance, move, and dance without issue, why couldn't he fight? Davies emphasized that this isn't nitpicking. Boxing is built on integrity. Champions hold belts as symbols of not just victory but honesty to the sport. Mixed signals erode that trust. And with the
in Riyadh. So really, the British fighting public are not going to get Fury v Tyson, Fury v Joshua. What they're going to get is a TV show that includes Fury and Joshua. So all this business about, yeah, we could fill Wembley.
BO now investigating the matter. This debate has escalated from whispers to official scrutiny. For Davies, the question is simple. If Usyk was fit enough to dance, why was Parker denied his fight? Sky Sports analyst Adam Smith broke down the deeper dynamics. He reminded fans that Usyk didn't just edge Fury in their first fight. He pulled away in the championship rounds, proving decisively who the superior boxer was under the brightest lights. At first, Fury seemed to accept the reality, but pride, as always, got in the way. Fury has since rewritten history in his mind, convincing himself that he was robbed, that the fight went another way. Smith cut through the denial. The truth was obvious to all who watched. Usyk was the better man, and while Fury clings to illusions, the division moves forward. Fans want Usyk against Joshua. They want Usyk against Parker. These are the fights that keep the heavyweight division alive, not endless rehashes of settled scores. Then there is Joseph Parker himself. Dignified, respectful, but clearly
White collar boxer, but he's got some good skill and he's got power. You know, he's got power and he can bang. So going into this fight, treating him like he's a champion of the world. As much as I wanted to fight Usyk, I know he's busy and he's, you know, recovering from an injury and he's spending time with his family. He's been busy in the ring, you know. But now I have Faber Wardley. I got, You know, he's a
Frustrated, Parker praised Fabio Wardley, giving credit where it was due. That humility is part of why fans admire him. But beneath the surface, his words carried weight. Parker wanted Usyk. He earned Usyk. Instead, he's forced to watch from the sidelines while the champion cites recovery but pivots to Fury instead. What does Parker do? He doesn't sulk or complain. He does what he's always done. Gets back to work, takes another tough fight, and proves himself all over again. That's Parker's career in a nutshell. No excuses, no ducking, just hard nights and honest victories. But there is a limit to patience. Every time Usyk delays, Parker's stock rises. Fans and analysts see the contrast. One fighter is willing, the other is evasive. Sooner or later, Usyk will run out of excuses. Former European champion Spencer Oliver captured the frustration of many. Twice undisputed, Usyk's greatness is unquestioned. But greatness isn't just about...
So Usyk really needs to make the decision. Look, he's been undisputed world champion twice. Give the belts up. Give the other fighters a chance to go for it. Yeah, and that's pretty much where you're at. I feel sorry for Joseph Parker right now because his next fight will be a tough one.
Collecting titles, it's about defending them against the right men. And right now, Usyk's indecision is holding the heavyweight division hostage. Oliver sympathizes with Parker. He's fought the fights, taken the risks, and stayed relevant. Yet instead of clarity, Parker gets another delay. Oliver's demand was straightforward. If Usyk wants Fury again, fine, but release the belts and let Parker have his chance. Boxing history rewards action, not delay, and Parker, roaring louder than anyone else, deserves to be heard. Finally, the voice of royalty, Roy Jones Jr., one of the greatest to ever lace gloves, doesn't hand out compliments lightly. When he said Joseph Parker is the best heavyweight right now, the boxing world paid attention. Roy's reasoning was simple. Parker isn't the biggest, but that's exactly why he's thriving. His speed, combination punching, and adaptability make him a nightmare opponent. Paired with...
The best guy right now is Joseph Parker. Why? Because he's not a big heavyweight. He's quick. He throws combinations. He has a great trainer with him now, in Andy Lee, and he's more comfortable than I've ever seen him in his whole career. And so I think that is actually a very good fight for both fighters.
Andy Lee, he's sharper and more composed than ever before. Parker has rebuilt himself into a complete heavyweight. For Jones, Parker isn't just a contender anymore. He's the man no champion can ignore, and that includes Usyk. The heavyweight division now stands at a crossroads. If Usyk takes Parker next, he faces a relentless challenger at his peak. If Parker wins, the division flips on its head, proving that hunger and persistence can overcome politics. If Usyk prevails, his legacy grows even stronger. But if Usyk continues to dodge Parker, the doubts will only deepen. The belts, after all, are not just trophies. They are promises to the sport and the fans. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury continues chasing redemption. But how much fire does he truly have left? Boxing isn't just about belts, it's about character. And right now, the spotlight shines brightest on Usyk and Parker. The question is simple: who wants it more?